Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. And give me a moment here to set up. I'm just trying to set this all up here. I think I've got it. And go back over to StreamYard here, back over to comments here. Welcome, welcome, Batsitsky, the Explorer. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. I gave you a blue wrench there. You are the first one in. Thank you. Thank you. I don't normally come on during the daytime this late. It's almost 4 o'clock. I normally come on at, right around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the latest, usually, but I am open till about 4 o'clock. And I've been out and I just got in and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go on. And my normal time is 10 p.m. at night. Hey, Shangy girl, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. My normal time is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at night. Okay. That's my normal time. Thank you, Shanky girl. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day. I do. It's rainy here. It's rainy in Jerusalem, and I'll tell you all about that in a second. And but and if I come on during the day, and most days I've been coming on like twice a day, once between 2 and 4, somewhere in there, and once at 10 o'clock. But not every day. Sometimes I'll skip, one or the other, or I'll skip both. Like yesterday, I don't think I was on at all. But the night before and the day before, I was on twice, and at night I was on 2.5 hours. So I had a lot to do yesterday and a lot to do today. So I thought, well, I'll pop on anyhow, even kind of unexpectedly, because people start looking for me around 2 o'clock. And if they don't see me by 3, they kind of, figure I'm not coming on. But I thought, I just walked in the door. Hey, Calico. Hey, my friend. Hey. Welcome, welcome. And I'm so glad to see you here, my friend with a beautiful, beautiful channel. And I hope you are having a great day as well. We are having rain. Nonetheless, the rain stopped. It's soggy. I did not run. I would have run anyhow, but I had other errands that I needed to do. And so those took precedent over. Normally, my running takes precedent. I never miss, I'm 7 days a week out there. Um, thank you. Thank you. And so, hey, Selvins, welcome. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. I just got in, and I'm going to tell you what I did. I had a busy day because we're doing a lot of different things right now. And I'm learning how to, I told y'all I learned how to hook up. We have our home here and we have a beach house. So we travel between here and the beach house. And we pull a trailer that you haul furniture and things like that, a big trailer behind us when we go, because we move things back and forth as needed. Like sometimes we take the motorcycles down, or the what do you call the scooter bikes. We have the scooters, and we use them here too. So we bring them back and forth. So we have a trailer. Okay. And Calico says it's almost 2 p.m. here. So wonderful to see you at this time. I'm busy in the kitchen. Oh my gosh, Calico. Calico, I'm Polish and I love pierogies. My whole family makes pierogies, except I don't know how I make them and mine fall apart. So if you will do a video on making homemade pierogi dough and how so that they don't fall apart, I will love you even more for that, because my pierogies fall apart. I buy the store-bought ones. When I lived in Poland, now I wasn't born in Poland, I was born here, but I have family all from Poland. And so when I was in Poland, I used to eat out every day. I'd always eat all these different pierogies, and they make dessert pierogies. And I love the cheese one, the cheese and potatoes. Those are my favorite. Hey, Ref Gels, welcome, welcome. And I so we decided, my husband wanted me to do a good trial run. Now remember, I'm going to be 65 years old. People forget. They think I'm 25. My husband, I told him, they said, honey, I'm not 25. That was a long time ago. Um, Calico, yes, I hope you put that up because I will watch it. I love pierogies. I love pierogies. I wish we had a pierogi restaurant in our little tiny town. but we don't. Oh my gosh. I think they need to have, matter of fact, maybe one of these days I'll open up a pierogi restaurant. Who knows? I've done it. I'm hooking up trailers, the back of trucks. And so I got out there in this rain, and the trailer is heavy to lift up. And I told my husband, I said, I want to do this on my own with you supervising, but I don't want you to help me. I want to do it on my own. And so I lifted this trailer up. You have to hook it in. You have to hook the lights to the light thing. You have to hook the chains to the back of the truck. You have to, take the pin out, put the pin in, lift this thing up, get it just right, back the truck up so that you can get it aligned with it. It's a lot to it. And away I went down the road to the dump. Now the dump is quite a ways, so I had to go quite a ways. Hey, repentant man, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. So there I am today with our big truck pulling this trailer, which I had never done really. I drove it around the driveway and that before, but never drove the trailer around before with the trailer. So there I am with the trailer going to the dump. Now, the dump is an interesting place because it's all mud back in there. So when we came home, I had to hose the whole truck off because it was covered in mud. So there I am taking this trailer full of, it was just like tree limbs and things like that, because that was just kind of a test run for me, taking it to the dump and going through these muddy roads and going through the weigh station. Have to get it weighed before you go into the dump. You have to get it just right because otherwise you'll fall off the thing, and that wouldn't be good. And so there I was driving in this mud, and the only thing I did not do is because I had brand new boots on, my beautiful boots, and I didn't want to get them muddy and ruin them. So I did say to my husband, I'm not going to get out of the truck now at this point. I let him dump it. It was just tree limbs, and I know how to open it up and all that. And so he did that part, but I drove it. I'm so proud of myself. Almost 65 years old. I'm learning all these things. I'm learning. I'm learning new apps on phones. I'm learning how to do all kinds of mechanical things. I'm just doing so much. Hey, Iva, welcome, 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 Iva. Wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you. Moments with Vanessa, my friend, Moments with Vanessa. And Moments with Vanessa, I do love the name of your channel. So I mean, if you create a second channel, I like that other name. But for your first channel, I like this name better. I mean, it's up to you, but I think it's just a beautiful name, Moments with Vanessa. Like, come sit with me for a while and we'll sit on grandma's porch with Moments with Vanessa. Maybe I should have called it Moments with Diana Brienne. That would have been a good one. So, okay. So I drove the truck through the mud in the dump with the trailer, pulling the whole thing. I'm so proud of myself. So proud. I did it. You would be amazed over the last 2.5 weeks, the things that I've had to learn. I'm learning how to use the blower for the driveway. I'm learning how to hook things up and fix things, and you name it. I learned how to, when our drains get clogged, I learned how to unclog them, with the thing and getting over there. So, my husband's teaching me all this stuff. And if you all haven't watched my video, it was about 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It kind of explains why I'm learning a lot of this stuff. Okay. Hopefully I'll never need to use it by myself, but it kind of explains it. I'm not going to go over it right now. So, oh my gosh, Calico, I am almost 65 years old and I am doing this stuff. This is stuff 25-year-olds do. Okay. 25-year-old people do. And at 65, I have friends who are in walkers and everything else. And I'm out there doing all this stuff. Oh, Calico, I'm so envious in a good way. Envious of you making pierogies. I mean, oh my gosh. Now I will tell you, Calico, what I do, because I'm not good at keeping them together. I make pierogi noodles, which are a very thick noodle. I'm great at that. My mama taught me that. Just flour, eggs, and water. A little salt. You roll it out and I have a little noodle maker. It's not one of those. You just actually slice it and you drop it in the hot boiling water. They are so, so good. And then I take the mashed potatoes and I put them on top of mashed potatoes and then butter. And if you want a little cheese, and that way it's so good. It tastes like a pierogi without it. But I will tell you this, Calico, I'm going to give you a really easy way. Let's say you're in the mood for pierogies, but you don't want to go through all the hassle. I'm going to give you my recipe that I made up. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what it is. It's called a pierogi casserole. If you will, look up the video with my name on it called pierogi casserole. I think I did a video maybe 2 years ago when I first came up on the channel. I think, not sure, but I think I did. You just take lasagna noodles, boil your lasagna noodles, and you layer it like lasagna, but with mashed potatoes. If you want a little hamburger, if you're going to use hamburger meat, you have to make sure it's already browned and cooked. A little bit of onion and your cheeses. You layer it, and then you bake it. I'm telling you, it is incredible, incredible, so wonderful, so wonderful. And Calico says, see valuable lessons and learn a skill a week. I am 53 and my husband is 62, and we just keep dreaming and doing while we can. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Princess Beyond Passions is in the house. If you don't have Princess Beyond Passions, you definitely want her channel. She's a supportive channel and she makes wonderful, wonderful content. So please connect to Princess Beyond Passions. Okay. Well, Princess, I hope you're doing wonderful. My friend Jamie is here. If you want to connect with somebody. Now, Jamie is very fussy, which is a good thing. I'm fussy too. I'm a very fussy person. He only wants people that are going to actually come to his channel and watch his content or be a part of his live streams. So, and he often will say that. So he only wants real people. Not just somebody that just clicks on it and then goes away. So that's how Jamie does it. And I'm that way too. I'm that way too. Thank you, Vanessa. We're blessed to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So at almost 65, and I'm holding on to 64, but truly I only see myself as 29. Okay, I don't see myself as 64 years old. I see myself as 29. And maybe that's what keeps me young. Because in person, people think I'm much younger than what I am. And Princess Beyond, thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, let me explain. Princess Beyond knows. She knows the secret. The secret is, if you want to grow your channel, you share that person out. And the best way that you can. Okay, some people don't have the regular share button, but once you get 500 subscribers, you get the regular community share button. And, when you go to someone's live stream, like say if I go to Jamie's live stream and I share him out, he's probably going to call my name out. Or even if he doesn't, people are going to, and I put back in there, I shared you out. People are going to say, hey, I want her. If she shares people out, I want her. And they'll come to your channel that way. But what I do is I give, I acknowledge everybody and I welcome everybody, but I give people who share me out. I remember them and I go share them out. Okay. I go share them out. I'm wonderful about sharing people out. When you make a comment under one of my videos daily, if it's a current one, because I don't go way back on my videos unless I see something pop up. And usually when I go way back on the videos, it's usually somebody made a nasty comment and they put it on an old video, For some crazy reason, the trolls go to the old videos. I don't know why. And absolutely, Calico. And it's so easy to do the right way because all you have to do if you're on your regular computer, just open up a separate tab. You can be playing the video, not on mute. You can't mute it. You have to play it on low. You can be playing it while you're over here, and it gets the full credit. And then you can go back later and actually get to know the content and know what it's about and rewatch it, but that way they don't lose you, because it messes up all the analytics. It really, really messes it up. It messes it up. So, okay. So I am learning. Now I want to tell you all, okay, I'm going to keep this a light stream. The other night I was on 2.5 hours. I didn't plan on being on 2.5 hours. I tire out after 30 minutes. But I just came up with this game of called Who Are You? What Are You? Where Are You? Okay. I just said, let's play it. I just made it up on the spot. So everybody got up on panel. We're playing this game, but the people in the stream were playing it too. So it's like I said, okay, who am I? And you have to ask a question. Whoever was on panel asked a question. And the problem is if there's nobody up on panel with me, I have to ask all the questions. Okay, so you have to figure it out. And maybe we could try this. Let's see if we try this and see if you can kind of guess. Okay, so I'm going to pick a person, and I'll give you a couple clues. Okay, and then you can ask some questions. And if you figure it out, I'll put your name up here on this screen. Okay, if you get it. Okay, so that'll be the reward for getting it. Okay, so let me think of somebody. You know what? We're going to do a TV show. TV show. Okay, we'll do a TV show. So I'll have to ask, since I don't have anybody up here on panel with me, I'll have to ask the questions. And then you can kind of figure it out. Okay, so the way it would work is I would have people on the panel. Okay, now I've got a TV show. See if you can guess it. They would say, are you a current TV show? I would say no. Are you a TV show in reruns? Yes. Are you a TV show that was made here in the United States? Yes. Okay. Are you a drama? No. Are you a comedy? Yes. Okay, I'm giving you clues right now. So you got to kind of come up with this. Are you in reruns? Are you a TV show that was made in the 90s? No. Are you a TV show that was made in the 80s? No. Are you a TV show made in the 70s? No. Are you a TV show made in the 60s? Yes. Would everyone know the name of this TV show? Yes. It's a comedy TV show made in the 60s. Was it in a city? No. Yes, well, no, Calico, for everybody. I made for everybody. I was made for everybody. And I'm in reruns. It was a show in the 60s. It was a comedy. No. Nope. Okay. Were you an hour long comedy? No. Were you a variety show? No. Were you a half-hour comedy? Yes. I was a half-hour comedy in the 60s. So then you would ask something like, okay, did you have a dog? No. Were you just the main star of the show? Or were there several big stars? Several big stars. Okay. Several big stars in the show, half-hour show. So you got to keep the questions going. So that's how we did this on the panel. So I'm going to give you some more clues. If you weren't in a city, were you in the country? No. Where does that leave you? If you weren't in the city, you weren't in the country. Were you in a small town? No. So, no music. Hey, James Cantonese, my buddy, welcome. We're just kind of playing an informal game here. So we're playing what TV show is this? Sometimes I'll do what person is this? What historical event? So you can jump on here right now, James. We're a rerun from the 1960s, a comedy half-hour show made here in the United States. We're not in a city, and we're not in the country, and we're not in a small town. So where does that leave us? No, Calico, it does not. So if we're not in a town, we're not in a city, and we're not in a country, are you on an island? Thank you, James. Hey, all that fluff. Welcome, my beautiful friend. We're playing a game here. And you can jump in. We're a rerun from the 1960s. And we're on an island and we're a comedy. So you got to guess it. You got to guess it. Now, I've given you a lot of great clues. No, Calico, it's in the 60s. That's in the 80s. And by the way, I was on that show. Okay, just to let you know, I had an itty bitty part on that Fantasy Island show. And it was actually created down on some studio. I can't remember. It wasn't even a real studio, actually. Um, all that fluff. Not it, you know, I don't think they really ever said where the island was, all that fluff, but it was a comedy show from the 1960s that's still in reruns today. It had a cast of characters. Okay. Oh, you got it. I knew you would get it. I knew. Okay. Thank you, Beyond Passions. Thank you, my beautiful friend. And now we got to put the winner is All That Fluff and Stuff. Gilligan's Island. She got it. She got it. Congratulations. Congratulations. See? See how much fun this is? See how much fun? Hooray! Like Calico says, hooray! And James Cantney says the plane. Absolutely. I was on Love Boat too. And Love Boat, small, tiny, itty bitty. Okay, nothing to write home about, nothing to get excited about. And Love Boat was actually made in it was almost like a factory warehouse. It wasn't even in the studio like MGM or anything. It was down on Santa Monica Boulevard, on the bad section of Santa Monica Boulevard. It was in a warehouse, and that's where the set was. And because I was like looking around, like where, I was looking for a studio, and it wasn't. It was like a warehouse. And when they came down the plank, where the plank ended up? Right in the director chairs, the director chair, right in the director's chair. I mean, it was like, oh wow, I thought this was a real ship, and it's like it's all a set. It was all a set. Yeah, Love Boat, Love Boat. Yeah. I was on a lot of TV shows, but very small parts. I wasn't an actress, but I got a lot of work as one. I was in my early 20s. And I worked as a young nurse at a very prestigious, well-known hospital on a VIP floor for 6 years. And I met all kinds of amazing people. And they would say, oh, okay, I'm not going to tell you where this was, but you can guess. You can guess it. I'm not going to confirm it or deny it. Okay. So this one, I was a young nurse, and I was not even taking care of the patient. And oh, thank you, Calico. Thank you. And now y'all can guess. Y'all get one guess. So this woman comes out and she says, darling, you are, and remember, I was 22. Okay, 22. She says, darling, you are, I love Hee Haw. That was my favorite show growing up, James. One of my favorite shows. She says, Mr., I'm not going to say his name because you don't know it, Mr., we'll call Mr. X. Mr. X would love to meet you. I want you to come to I'm going to call it a house. It's a very famous house. And I said, wow, okay. So I had this little old car. Okay. So there I'm driving up. It wasn't actually in Beverly Hills. It was in a house next to that. Very extremely famous, probably the most famous house in that area. And I'm driving up my little car, and you're talking to a rock. This is way back, before all the technology. And they had like cameras and everything. And my car started rolling back down the hill, and I had to grab it because it had a stick shift. And so I jumped back in my car, get my car back there, put the brake on, get out of the car, talk in the camera. My little old, it was a 1972 blue Mazda that had no air conditioning, no radio. So they're all fluff and stuff. I'm not going to put your name up here because I'm not going to confirm or deny. So there I am, fluff and stuff. You're too smart. You're too smart. You're going to, when I do the game, like I did the other night, I did game night. When I actually do game night or game day, you got to come up here. You'll win the whole thing hands down. So, hey, Alfred. Hey, my friend. So I take my little old banged up blue car. Yeah, I was 22. I went to nursing school in that little old banged up blue car, $450 car. And I go up this winding driveway, and the valet parker says, "Ma'am, I will take your car for you." Well, he took my little old banged up blue car that had originally been painted red. The red was showing through. I paid $25 to have it painted blue, and he parked it between a Lamborghini and a Rolls Royce. Like a little low car. Thank you, Fluff and Stuff. Thank you, my friend. Hey, Mike, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. So there I am, and I actually had my girlfriend with me, I think that night. And we go in, big, beautiful mansion, a lot of people there, a lot of people, movie stars, everybody. And there I am, 22-year-old me, going in there. Well, my girlfriend disappears. I couldn't find her. And of course, I see Mr. X walking around in his satin pajamas, the famous satin pajamas. And so finally, my girlfriend comes. I finally find her. She had been in the bathroom. This little bathroom was adjacent as you first come in the door. And she said, "You're not going to believe this. This bathroom is so fantastic. You pull this chain and the water comes down, to flush the toilet." She said she just stayed in there and kept flushing it because she was so fascinated with it. So I went in there and I started flushing it because I thought it was so cool. And I couldn't believe where I was. I could not believe where I was. And so we had dinner. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you. And so they set us down to dinner. And I'm sitting next to two different movie stars. I'm just sitting there like this. I could barely eat. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting next to you know who and you know who. Oh my gosh. Because I was 22. I was 22. So that was very interesting. Hey, my beautiful friend Nancy, you missed out. We just played that. We just played a game. I did. I did. What was the TV show? We just did one of them. I was just showing everybody how it worked. What we all did the other night that we had so much fun on. Remember, Nancy, the other night Nancy was up on panel. You did really good, Nancy. But you know who kept getting it was what was his name? What's his name? Our French that was up here the other night. He kept winning. He got it. I'll think of him in a minute. I keep wanting to say Pond and Garden, but it wasn't Pond and Garden. He kept winning. He kept doing he just kept doing an amazing job. We had so much fun. We did. It turned into 2.5 hours. I was so tired. So I went to bed. I went right to bed after. Well, I think I actually answered my comments and then I went to bed, But yeah. So that was, that was so much fun, back then. And I did actually meet a lot of people during that period, that 6 years, um, because I was taken care of or around. And I've told many stories, like I did one. If you go up and look stories from my life, Diana Brienne Fairchild, one was called Mr. Big. Mr. Big had the big, 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 big yacht. And we sailed all around on his big, big, big yacht. And then the other story was Mr. Big in Hollywood, which is different than the man with the big, big, big yacht. So they're two different people, Mr. Big in Hollywood, which I won't mention his name because he's passed on now. But at that time, he was one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. And he would he'd pick me up in his little black Mercedes. He couldn't drive. Oh, he was a terrible driver. Mr. Actor Never, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for being here. And Jeff B, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Let me give you blue wrenches here. Now, Mr. Big in Hollywood, which is different than Mr. Big Boat. Okay, Mr. Big Boat was the man with the big, 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 big yacht. Mr. Big in Hollywood was, he used to wear a toupee. And he didn't know how to drive because he usually lived in New York City. So he went between New York City and a very famous hotel out in Hollywood. He had like a permanent place in the hotel that he stayed. It was beautiful. It was like, and so anyhow, I would meet him at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and then we would get in his little black Mercedes with the convertible top. And one time there was like a traffic circle. I don't know if that's exactly what it was, but it had like 8 different lanes that went through right pretty close to the Beverly Hills Hotel. Well, he wasn't a good driver because he was used to taking limousines. And so we were going to meet a very, very famous movie star singer from the 50s and his family. And we were going out. And so there we are. I had one of those little cluster things on back of my hair, the little ringlets back in the 70s that everybody wore. And so there we were. And all of a sudden, he almost hits like a bunch of cars. And everybody is giving us the bird, and they're not being nice, and honking the horn. And Mr. Biggs' toupee flew off, and it flew to the side. So I'm reaching down on the side of his side of the car, plopping his toupee back on his head, and away we go to meet this famous movie star. So we're actually, believe it or not, of all the places, we're meeting the famous movie star at Hamburger Hamlet in West Hollywood. And we're pulling in, and I go to get out, and I had high heels on, and my heel broke off my shoe. So now my cluster in the back of my hair is crooked. My hair's a mess. Mr. Biggs' toupee is on crooked. He's a very powerful man, so it didn't matter. He could wear, totally crooked toupee. Everybody knew who he was. And I have a broken heel. And we're walking into Hamburger Hamlet to meet this very famous movie star singer from the 60s who turned out to be wonderful and fabulous. So I have so many stories from my life, so many. And but anyhow, maybe we'll do another. Nancy, do you want to come up for a moment? Do you want to come up? Anybody want to come up? We can do. I have to know you to bring you up, because I have to either know you and I have to see movement in the box, because y'all know what happens to people when you don't see movement in the box. You don't know who someone is, So, but Princess, you're welcome. You want to come up? You want to play our game? If someone wants to play a game up here, otherwise I can throw out another one. I can do another one here. I'm trying to think. Okay, we did a TV show. Okay, let me think of something. Maybe a historical event. I'm trying to think what historical event. Okay, let's see. Maybe I could be a famous person. Who could be a famous person? Oh, I can't think of a famous person. It's funny how your mind goes blank. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll just do a well-known movie. How about that? A well-known movie. Okay, let's see if you can all get it. I just popped this one out. Okay. Okay, I'm a movie. So you would say, are you a current movie? No. Are you a movie from long, long, long ago? You mean like the 30s? No. Are you more like in the last 30 years? Yes. Were you up for an Oscar? Yes. Okay. Anybody got any ideas yet? I was up for an Oscar. Okay. Were you made in the 2000s? No. Were you made in the 90s? Yes. So I was a movie from the 90s. A movie's from the 90s. Oya's World. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Am I alive? Yes, both actors. Okay. I'm going to give you a clue. There were two actors in there. Now, actors can be male or female. Okay, so there was two in this movie. In the 90s, it was up for an Oscar. Okay. Were you women actors, men actors, or both? Okay, were you women actors? Yes. So now you got two women actors, a movie that was nominated for an Oscar. I can't remember if it won it or not. Okay. And I was in the 90s. Now that's a lot of clues right there. You should be able to get that. Two main actresses in the 90s that was up for an Oscar. Okay. Anybody guess it? Anybody guess it? Okay. Let's see what we do. Let's see. No, Calico. No. That you're right though. There were two main women there was two main ones in there. This movie had two women that were really the stars of the movie. Okay. Okay, so let's see. It was a drama, but you could say that it had some funny moments in it. Okay, some goofy moments. Because one of the characters was kind of goofy, kind of goofy. Okay, the other one was a serious type. Okay. Um, neither really, all that fluff and stuff, but I would say drama. Yeah, it's drama. It's just drama with some funny moments in it. Um, I'll give you another clue. It made one of the kind of kind of youngish middle age at that time, and it made one of the co-stars. It really had a decent part, but it was a smaller part. Made him very, very, very famous. He's one of the biggest famous stars today. He's very famous now, and he's made a lot of movies since then. But that was really his first big movie break. Okay, and he played a bad boy. He played a bad boy. So does that give you kind of a more of a hint? So we've got two women. There was a bad boy in there. He got his first really lucky big break on this movie, and it was made in the 90s about two women. It was more of a drama, but it had some funny moments in it. I'll give you another clue. Anybody? No one can get it yet. Okay, I'm going to give you another clue. This is a big clue because this is how it ended. Yep, fluff and stuff got it. You got it. You got it, girlfriend. You got it. There, you got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah, and Brad Pitt. Yeah. See, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Got it. Yeah, Brad Pitt made him a star. I mean, that movie, I think, was his biggest turning point. It made him a star. Before that, he really wasn't known. He really wasn't known at all. So, see, this is kind of what we're doing now on my channel. We're kind of doing this, we're kind of, because I thought, coming on here and, I do share my wisdom. I do share my journey. Sometimes we just bring people up and chit chat. Yeah, Calico. It was, yeah. And this is what we did the other night, but except there was like 6 of us up here. And thank you, Vanessa. We were just playing another game here. Yes. And so, yeah, you just kind of, we've been doing that because the other night we were at historical events. We were, I think, famous TV shows. I did the TV show, but nobody could guess it. And I thought for sure that everybody would know Keeping Up Appearances that come on PBS on Saturday nights, but nobody got that. Nobody had even heard of it, which shocked me. So now I would do easy ones. Yeah, Cheers was a great show. Yeah, that would be a good one to do on here, is Cheers. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing. Like when I came on the other night, we got so into the game, before I knew it, 2.5 hours were gone. So it was a lot of, yeah. We did like presidents, and I can't remember who. We did first ladies, historical events, and it's fun. It kind of takes us away from our other things, all the news, all the drama, all the problems, anybody's problem. When you kind of get focused on something fun and lighter, and even from wisdom, because wisdom, as wonderful as I love it, I do those in my video. And when I get off of here, I got to do a couple. I got a couple of videos, and one of the ones I want to do is think the best about people. And, especially when people mean well, they may not always do a perfect job. And I did a video like that the other day, but this is going to be a little bit different. And I had a couple more I've got wrote down that I want to do. But my husband did videotape me going to the dump today. I have to tell you, with the trailer, pulling the trailer behind me. But I was a bit of a mess because it'd been out in the rain, so I'm not going to put that video up. So yeah, I was pulling that trailer. There I am going down the road, and so yep. So I guess, my mental state is 29 forever, even though my technical age is 64, going to be 65. My mental age is 29. So yeah. Yeah, James. Yes. I try to, I talk about everything on my channel except for politics. I don't do that, or I don't do controversial subjects, but only because it's too divisive, but my lane is wisdom, but part of wisdom is having fun and coming up for air, and so I do that. I come up for air and try to, I think this idea of that I came up with, having like a game, doing games sometimes is fun because it's fun. It gets people sidetracked from whatever their problems are for a little bit, gives them a rest from their problems, a rest from the world news, a rest from all that, and and sometimes I run out of things to talk about. I do, not in my videos, not in my daily wisdom videos, but when you do a live stream, especially when you're up here for a while, I mean, it's a lot. You run out of things. So having a game that you can do is really it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And so I just wanted to pop on here today. I've only been on like 45 minutes, and that's not a long live stream, but I wanted to pop on here so y'all know I'm here. I try to keep my time frames. I try to keep consistent and at least coming on once a day, sometimes twice a day. I may be on tonight. It depends. I think we're going to go back out. So it just depends. And if I do come on, it's usually right around 10 o'clock. So the other night I came on at 9:30 or 9:40, which was a little early. Sometimes I'll come on a little after 10, but usually I try to keep it right around the 10 o'clock time frame, give or take, a little bit of time. And so I may be on tonight. It just depends. But I'm going to get off of here right now. So I've got a lot more things I want to do, and I want to make my videos before I go back out. And so I do that, and then I put those up. I put those up. And so I just want to thank you all for being so supportive and so wonderful. And I'm so excited about Calico's pierogies. I want to know how they turn out. I'm so excited about her pierogies. Oh my goodness, how wonderful. So I thank you all. Thank you all for being here. And look for me around 10 o'clock tonight, okay? I might be on. I might, okay? Well, love you all much. Thank you for being here. Oh, Nancy, I'm going to get ready and go now. But you know what, Nancy? I may be on tonight. I may be on. Thank you, James. Thank you, my friend. Nancy, I may be on tonight. Okay, it depends on what time my husband and I get back and how I feel, but I may. Oh, thank you, Calico. Thank you. So, Nancy, be looking for me. If I come on tonight, I want you to come up with me, please. Okay, can you do that? And I'd appreciate that because it makes it a lot easier for me to have, you know, um, you know, people up here. That way we can play game night. Okay. Calico, I would love for you if you come on. If I do come on, I'm not promising I'll be on tonight, but if I'm back in time and I come on tonight, oh, Princess, thank you. And Princess, you are very welcome as well. If you see me on and anyone wants to come up that I know, I have to know you. Hey, Mike, welcome. I'm getting ready to leave, Mike. You can drop your link if you would like. I may be on tonight if we get back soon enough. And like I said, look for me anywhere from 9:30 to 10:30, but it's usually right around 10 if I come on. Okay. So if not, I'll see you on the next time. So love you all much too. And I will see you all a little bit later. May God bless you. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.